Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to this Sunday morning episode of My PI Dream. This morning, a quick update on some of the things that need picking in the garden, in the backyard. I want you to see some of the growth since the last time we did a video on some of the things that were growing inside the backyard. You might be surprised. Well, let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Just kind of walk around here and see the obvious. And I got to show you something. This is the apple guava tree. And this is our pineapple. This is the Michelle pineapple plant here that we pulled the pineapple off about 2 weeks ago. Now, one of our subscribers made a recommendation, and I've never done this before. Of course, we're always learning here at Villa Feliz, and when we learn something, we share our results and our experience of things that you recommend. And this is one of the things right here. You can see this is the little suckers that are still left on the old pineapple plant that we harvest. You can see we cut the pineapple off here, and I got to tell you, it was super sweet. It was a great pineapple. A little smaller than standard pineapples, but it was very sweet, and I want more of these. So one of you made a suggestion. You said, let this continue to grow on this mother plant right here until it gets a little bit bigger. Instead of taking it off at this earlier stage, I normally like to take them off when they're about 6 inches, and they're getting close to about the 6-inch stage now. So that's what I did. I cut off the pineapple, and what we're doing is we are allowing these to mature a little bit more before we take them off, peel off the bottom, and let them root, and we'll make new pineapple plants from that. So that's staying here. I want you to see these apple guava. I'm going to be pulling these off. These are huge, and I got to show you what happens sometimes when they get so huge. But for right now, these will be coming off. Now, to put it into comparison, look at the size of my hand. Look at the size of these. So we'll probably be picking these this morning. Now, this is a problem sometimes when you have too many very mature or getting to maturity of plants on your tree that cannot support. And this is what happened. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apple guava down here, and what happened, you can see the branch broke from the weight. So we'll be removing these as well. We're going to go ahead and remove these and trim off and prune off this part of the plant here. But you can see this. I got to show you this one. I don't know what's the best place to try to get a picture here, but look at the size of this one apple guava right here. I don't know if you can appreciate how big this is from the angle that I'm doing. Well, we're gonna take this off today, and we have just tons. This apple guava tree is just producing so very many fruits this year. You can see over on that side as well. So we're going to pick some of the apple guava here. The lemon tree over here, lemon tree also. This is what, remember, we call the Jurassic Park lemon tree. And we just have lots and lots of lemons all over, with new ones growing all over the place on this one right here. So we'll be picking at least one today to make one batch of lemonade. Because remember, one lemon on this tree makes one pitcher of lemonade. Now, this is what I was talking about, the tops of the pineapples. This is what I take the tops off. I put them back here in a raised bed garden until they get a little bit bigger, and then I plant them in the yard in garden. So they not only look like a nice plant inside the garden, but what they also look like is, like you can see over there, in each one, those are all pineapple plants over there. But I let them start here. As well as you can see, I have a few over here growing. I love pineapples. Remember, my option or my goal is to have at least 20 pineapple plants growing all year round. Now, let's go to the dragon fruit. Now, this plant right here, you've seen me pull the dragon fruit plants or the fruit off of this one over last month. I believe it was last month. I want you to see this. It's a crazy amount of production. I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one will be ready to pick tomorrow or the next day. Let's see. 8, 9. At least 9. Oh, this one on the back, I didn't even see it. 10. So there's at least 10 just on these small plants that are growing on the corner. And that's those. And then you have this one over here. This will be a dragon fruit here. This one's almost ready. Look at this one above the Eugenia plant over here. That one right there, as well as this one up here. I don't know what's on the back side over there. You can see over on that side we have them growing, dropping down, along with the cetal green beans on the inside. Now something else I want to show you is I have a few varieties of peppers that I'm growing over here. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to get a little bit closer, but I have the type of peppers that I use in Sinigang. I have what I've been trying to grow over here forever, and that is jalapenos, and I believe that's a jalapeno I have there. And I have some green bell pepper plants. Let's go on the back side and take a look. Oh, before we get back there, now this one we picked dragon fruit off of this one in the past as well. So we have another one here, there, here, starting one way up there. We just have so many dragon fruit. We have a little bit of a dilemma, and the dilemma is all of the grapevines up here, which aren't really producing many grapes at all yet so far this season. They're providing too much shade and causing these to grow taller and not as thick as they should be at a lower level. But I know we have some peppers inside here. So here are the pepper plants that are going to be used for the Sinigang right here. It's these type peppers you see. Now over here I planted what I believe it said red bell peppers, but this is what they look like right now. So we'll just keep an eye on these. Now I don't know if I planted any jalapenos over here. I really want some jalapeno peppers over here. And our chili plants back here, what they call sile plants over here, are doing well too. Here and over there. I'm thinking about moving these. I have to be really careful. I don't want to kill either one of these plants. And I'm thinking about moving things out because these get the most sun since it's still open back here a little bit from the grapevines. And I want to plant something different. I have about 4 different chili plants, sile plants back here. Here, and several of them over there. Let's not forget the pomegranates. Look at the pomegranates back here. Lots and lots of pomegranate on our pomegranate tree. This one is about ready for picking over here. Now our cashew tree doesn't seem to be producing any more of the cashew nuts. It's replacing and growing and getting taller with the leaves. You can see this is all new growth here. These nice colors with a little bit of the reddish rust brown color right here. And that's the new growth on here. And remember, I think it was in January and February, we got a lot of cashews on that one. So I think that maybe is the time season. Still nothing yet from our avocado tree right here. Still growing, but normally it takes sometimes several years, 3, 4, 5 years before you actually get fruit on certain fruit-bearing trees, especially if they were not grafted from another fruit-bearing tree. Now our calamansi tree is doing great. You can see we're getting lots of calamansi. I need to pick some of these. And what I normally do is I take 14 of them this size or smaller. 14 makes 1 pitcher of calamansi juice that we keep. We keep calamansi in the refrigerator every day, but it's producing lots of new calamansi all around on this tree. This tree has always done really good back here. I have 2 calamansi trees in our backyard. And now for our banana update. You see the banana update, and this just popped up a couple of days ago. I saw the blossom back here, and this is the Cavendish variety. We have Cavendish here and all on this side, and on the opposite side over there we have the Lantundan. But you can see we have lots of bananas that are growing right now over here. We'll give it just a little bit, maybe one more yielding of some bananas here, and then we'll cut off the heart, the banana heart over here, and the energy will not go to the blossom, it will go to the bananas themselves. But you can see this is what happens this is part of the blossom. These will open up, and underneath here are new bananas inside there, and they'll just drop down to the ground right there. Now some of the people eat the blossom. They have recipes for the banana blossom here in the Philippines. Now back here behind our fence on our neighbor's lot, we planted some trees. We planted some palms, and we planted, again, if you've been watching, you'll see, and this is the papaya that we planted for our neighbor, and we have banana plants, lots of banana plants, both for our neighbor behind our lot and on the other side. So they have a starter. Once they start building their houses, they already have plants that are already well established over here. That gives them a head start. And we have several of the papaya that needs to come down. It needs to come down now. I usually bring a bowl or knife back here and cut them down, but let's see. Okay, here, we'll bring this in. We have several of them that need to come in, as well as this one right here. Whoops. It's okay, these are pretty hardy. But 1, 2, and we'll leave this one for one more day or so. We'll let this get just a little bit riper on the vine. And I think we have some bananas back here as well. Oh yeah, and here we go. We have these bananas right here. The sun is in the way. We'll go around to the other side. I'll be able to see it a little bit better. There we go. And those bananas are doing just fine. Now these are Lantundan. These are not Cavendish. And Lantundan for me is my favorite as well. Here's another Lantundan right here. Here you go. So we have plenty of bananas that are on their way. Now, although rainy season, which we're in rainy season, which starts in June here in the Philippines, it makes everything so very beautiful and green. Although that's a pro of rainy season, a negative impact of rainy season is with the insects. And you'll see, this is when these guys start coming out. I'm not going to put my finger on there because then I will get lots of little red ants, and these are the biting ants that we have here. I don't know, there are ways to treat these. I have my method, but I have varied success with ants around here. If you have a specific way of dealing with ants, especially if you're in the Philippines, because the way we treat ants in the US sometimes isn't the way we treat ants or the way ants are treated over here in the Philippines. And ants aren't really so bad except for the ones that bite, and these are the little tiny ones like the red fire ants that we have in the US. And then we have things like little carpenter ants. Let me show you. Well, they're here sometimes and they're gone. They were here before. They're gone. They were just a while ago. They were going up and down the edge of the Erdal stone here by the pool. They come and go. I don't mind them so much. They do what they have to do. They don't bite me when they get on my leg, and they come and they go and they disappear. But these guys don't disappear, and they just start expanding underneath the ground, and it's not good for the soil. So tell me what your favorite recipe is to get rid of ants. Now, I often talk about all the plants that you see in the backyard that are producing fruit, but I don't really talk so much about the ones that aren't producing yet. But I would like you to know that we are waiting, and sometimes it takes years, like I said before they produce. And this is our Guiabano tree right here, and this is about, I'm going to say, about 3 years old. This is about 3 years old, and we still don't have any fruit off of this one, but this came from a seed. This is not a graft, so it might take quite a while. Also, this mango tree that we have here, this is our, I'm going to say our 3rd year along with this one as well. And we also have, remember the mango that's over there. It hasn't started producing yet, but next year we're going to spray that one with a special treatment that's going to force it to start producing. And we'll talk about that then. Then we have lots of little citrus trees like this one and this one and this one. This is citrus. This is citrus. This is pomelo over here. This hasn't started yet. And I'm not sure exactly what the name of the fruit is. This is like a little tangerine that they have here. We have gotten some. We actually have gotten fruits off of this one. Last year we did. This year we had a couple of them, but they were small and they fell off. And I think it's because it's so wet down here. This is the calamansi. We do get fruits on this one. And this is our avocado. I think I talked about this earlier. Still no fruit yet on this one, but it's coming. And this in the pot is also, this is a avocado tree also. It looked like it was dead for a while, but that was because during dry season I didn't put enough water in there, but you can see this is all new growth. Sometimes when you think a plant is dead, as long as you don't get this, the whole tree doesn't have this dark brown and that's brittle, like this is right here. As long as you see the green, eventually you'll probably get little buds of leaves that will be coming off, and it will come back again. Normally, since this is an avocado, avocados normally grow pretty big, but I'm trying to keep its growth down by planting it inside this pot over here. And there's only one more citrus tree that I want to talk about. It's not this. This is a Santordes. I have two of these here, and behind the calamansi tree over there. And these are doing great. No fruits yet, but what used to be here, used to be a sun-kissed orange. And when we started building the swimming pool, we did damage to the roots of the sun-kissed orange. And we actually got oranges 2 years in a row from that, and they were very nice. So our good friend Charles, who lives here in the subdivision, I asked him when he was going shopping the other day up in Tagaytay at Mahogany Market, if they have any more sun-kissed orange plants, please pick one up for me. And he most kindly did so, and this is our sun-kissed orange plant right here. And this is a grafted variety. You can tell it's grafted by the tape that's around the bottom, the grafting tape. And although I put it very close to the side of our porch over here, we will prune this one. We will only allow this to grow about 3 meters tall, just high enough, basically no higher than this balete tree that we have right here. So just imagine just picking fruit like this from this sun-kissed orange once it gets to the height. But it's a very, very slow growing plant, and this was the last one that I wanted to mention. I won't see anything probably on this for another 2 or 3 years. Well, that was our backyard update to keep everybody up to date, trying to keep track of the progress of some of the fruits and the vegetables that we're growing here in the backyard of Villa Feliz. Most things are doing really good. I think the rain has really been a contributor to a lot of the new growth that's going back there, especially the trees, because the trees are deep rooted and they are really enjoying a lot of the rain. Although if you notice the ants, we're starting to get a lot of ant activity.
And the worms.
And the worms. And the worms. I don't know if you saw, but in the backyard, the little mounds, there's little mounds everywhere. When we get all the rain, it forces the worms up and they make a mess. I have to go out there with the hose sometimes and break it down. It is a bittersweet kind of a battle with the worms, because the worms are actually good for the soil. They help with adding nutrients in the form of fertilizer from the worm poop, I guess we can call it. And they also help with the aeration, but they also make a mess. They make a mess, and you see these mounds. Now the front yard you notice the front yard looks really good. Nothing like the backyard we're starting. Last year was the front yard we got most of the worm mounds, right? And the year before, and the backyard wasn't too bad. But it seems like they took their luggage and they moved from the front yard to the backyard. They went north, I guess you can say. I don't know. Anyway, this is the time in our channel that we want to do a few shout outs. And the shout outs are belated, and we apologize for it because we haven't done that many videos over the last 3 weeks. So even though this is June, we're going to go back for some belated May shout outs and try to get caught up a little bit. I have done a couple of DIY videos, but our DIY videos are very strict to the content of DIY, and we don't really do a lot of culture and video. Well, we don't do any. And we don't normally
you should
do.
Begin doing more.
Yeah, well, maybe we should but those are really dedicated to DIY. That's why we're behind on these shout outs. So let's start with the first, and the first one is going to be an anniversary shout out, right? An anniversary shout out. And our belated anniversary shout out is for Jim and Mylene Saxman, who celebrated their 4th wedding anniversary. I believe that was on May 20. May 20.
Okay.
Are you cheating? Are you looking down on the cheat sheet?
I can't see.
Oh, that's right.
I can't see because I'm nearsighted.
You're nearsighted, so you could. But I believe it was May 20. Okay, I'm going to cheat. Yes, it was May 20th that they celebrated their 4th anniversary. Anyway, to you, Jim and Mylene, Nessa and I want to wish you a belated happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Jim and Mylene.
And we have one belated birthday shout out. It's for a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, we've been really slow on putting out videos over the last couple of weeks, and I truly apologize, but I always say better late than never, right?
Okay.
So anyway, Lucy Halvis wants to wish her husband Steve, who had a birthday on May 30th, he wants to make sure he gets a birthday shout out. Even 2 weeks late, Steve, we're getting that birthday shout out to you. Anyway, to you, Steve, we want to wish you a belated happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We are kind of in catch-up mode, and I apologize we haven't been getting out as many videos as we normally do during a week-by-week basis. But there are a lot of things going on inside the background that you probably don't realize, and it has to do with some projects that are long-term projects, and we're collecting the video so that we can kind of put it together in 1 or 2 episodes instead of some of our traditional videos where we'll do like 61 days of the swimming pool built here. One of the things that has to do with is the generator down in the basement. Remember back last year during one of those nasty typhoons, we overextended and we had a major failure of our generator. We have a project going on right now to either do a repair or a replacement of that generator for those of you who are interested. And generators are kind of important, especially in the Philippines when we have so many of these brownouts, whether scheduled or unscheduled brownouts here. And this is the season of brownouts because this is summer season when everybody starts taxing the system with fans and lights and air conditioning units. And the Philippines is not set up exactly like the US or other places around the world who have a very stable electrical generating plant and infrastructure. We've talked about that in previous videos. Also, we have another project that's going to be going on here and soon. It has to do with a build here inside the backyard. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail later on. But there are lots of things going on. I just haven't documented everything, or I am documenting, and they'll be presented in a future video here on My PI Dream. So again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Kind of got caught up on some of the plants and the vegetables back here. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you haven't subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. If you ring that bell, you'll be notified the next time we upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.